everyone, it's Carrie here. So has anyone ever said to you, when are you going to go and get a proper job? Or maybe someone said, come on now, start being realistic. Or perhaps you've had it where close family and friends have not really believed in what you're doing and have almost thought that you were a bit silly for trying to turn your idea into a reality, and you almost felt like you were a bit of a laughing stock. I think it's highly likely that we're all going to encounter this at some point, whether it's friends and family who don't really believe in us, or whether it's people we meet along our journey that can't understand why we're trying to do what we're doing, and who just think, go and do something normal. And I know a lot of people have been thinking this because I've been getting a lot of emails about it. You know, people saying things like, I don't know what to do, my family don't understand what I'm trying to do, and they don't believe in me and I don't know how to handle it. And I know how it feels because I've been in that position before where really close family members have, you know, who are amazing people, they're really supportive and I love them to bits. But when times have got tough for me, they've said things to me like, Carrie, do you think it's about time you maybe consider getting a job now? Or they say things like, Carrie, what are you going to do? And I know that they have my best interests at heart and they're amazing people and I love them to bits and they're so supportive, but it can be hard to hear those words because it makes me question everything. It makes me think, am I doing the right thing? Should I go and get a job? You know, things I have seriously considered because these people have been saying it to me. And it can be hard to carry on and to keep going when you've got people around you who don't believe in you and who think you're a bit crazy for trying to attempt to achieve what you're trying to achieve. And the thing is, I can really understand why they were saying it because, you know, society kind of tells us we need to be a certain way. Society says, you know, we go and we get educated and then we go and get a job and we work really, really hard and then in our 50s and 60s we retire. And, you know, that's what we're told is the norm. And so most of us are walking around with our eyes closed thinking that that's the way it should be. And then there were a few of us who started to think, actually, there's something more. Actually, I should be spending my life doing something that I love, something that's making a difference and something that makes me happy and fulfilled. So we are the people who are trying to do that, but there are so many people still who think that that's a bit of a crazy thing to do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with people who want to go and get a really great education and then want to work really, really hard for someone else and then retire in their 50s or 60s. If that's what's going to make them happy, then that's brilliant. But unfortunately, it's not the case for so many people. However, more and more people are actually starting to wake up and realise that life is about doing what you love, about being happy and fulfilled and achieving amazing things. But there are still so many people who cannot really see that yet and who think that we are the crazy ones trying to make that happen, make that a reality. And it can be really testing, you know, when your friends and family or even people that you don't know don't believe in you or think that what you're doing is ridiculous. It can be really crushing and it can really make you question everything. So the thing is, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it when people close to you or people you meet along the way don't believe in you and think that what you're doing is ridiculous? What do you do? How do you handle it? And for me, the way I've dealt with it is by having an absolute ton of faith. Faith is such a powerful thing. It's what's kept me going. That little voice in my head when someone says to me that they don't believe in me or when someone makes me feel like what I'm doing is really silly, it's that voice inside of me that says, watch me make this happen, I'm gonna do this. It's been so key for me to help me to get to where I am now. It's a state of mind that I try and put myself in every day, a state of mind to have trust, complete trust that what I want to achieve will come to pass, that it's going to happen. Having that faith helps me to stay so much stronger when people around me don't believe in me and helps me to kind of bring it together and think, no, come on, you can do this, it's going to happen, just trust that it will. And I want to give you an example of when something happened to me and where I had to make sure I had so much faith and trust in myself. So an example of this is the day I launched the first issue of the magazine. So I was sat working from this shared workspace in London and I was on my laptop working away by myself and the magazine was ready to go live and I'd written the email to send out to everyone. And this guy came over to me and started talking to me and as we were chatting away I realised that he owned the place and he was asking me, you know, what are you doing? And I said, I'm just about to launch a magazine for female entrepreneurs. And he said, oh wow, you need to speak to this girl. So this girl then came over and we started chatting and she was telling me all about what she was doing. And then I said to her, I'm about to launch a digital magazine. So I started to show her the magazine and I was flicking through the pages really excited. And she said, oh wow, this is so patronising. And I just was like, oh my gosh, did you actually just say that? And I felt crushed, absolutely crushed. And she proceeded to tell me why it wouldn't work, why it was patronising, she said, because it was pink in it and pink was patronising for women, and she just said that it just wouldn't work at all and people wouldn't get it. And I was thinking, I'm about to send out the email to launch this magazine, and here is someone who has seen it and thinks it's not great. And I didn't know what to do, and as she walked away I sat back down. I just kept replaying the moment in my mind when she said that, thinking, oh no, it was like a little bit more confidence was like chipping away each time I kind of relived that moment, until I was just sat there, had lost all self-belief and faith in the idea. And then I just thought, hang on a second, and I took a step back, a mental step back from the situation, and I just thought about it all, and I just thought, Carrie, her opinion of you and the magazine does not have to be your opinion. And if she wants to believe that, that's great, but that doesn't mean that you have to believe it too. It doesn't mean that you have to lose your self-belief and your faith in this just because somebody else has. And once I said that to myself, I just felt so much more empowered and just thought, oh yeah, because I think sometimes you get so caught up in the moment and so caught up with someone else's words and what someone's told you that you kind of go along with it and you forget to, like, you know, to hold yourself back a second and think, hang on, what is going on here? We get to choose whether or not someone's words affect us or impact on us or take our confidence and self-belief away from us. That is a choice. And at that moment, I was choosing to let her take my self-belief away from me. I was giving it to her just because she had a different opinion. And so once I'd accepted her opinion, her beliefs, once I accepted it, I thought, fair enough, she's entitled to think that. If she feels that pink is patronising, that's her story, that's her thing. It's not mine, it doesn't have to be mine. And once I realised that, I just thought, it doesn't matter then. So I kind of sat there and I kind of relaxed and took a deep breath, and a little smile of excitement and nerves crept across my face, and I went to my laptop and I hit send, and I sent that email out to all those people, and I packed my stuff up and was walking out of there, and I took my phone out and I was looking at my emails, and all these emails coming through from people saying how they absolutely love the magazine and thanking me for creating it, and I just smiled to myself and I felt so happy, and I felt so grateful that I'd trusted and I'd had faith in myself to actually go for it and to do it, despite the fact that other people didn't believe that it would work and that other people thought it wasn't a good idea. And that's just an example of something happened right at the last minute, but there was people from the beginning when I had the first idea to create the magazine who were like, well, can you really do a magazine? Are you really going to be able to do this? You've got no experience in putting a magazine together. And when those people would say things to me, it would make me question things, but then I just remember, why am I doing this? Do I believe in myself? Yes, I do. And I just kept thinking, you know, I'm going to do this, watch me do it. And sometimes I think now, what if I have believed what they were saying? What if I had have let their words knock my confidence so much that it stopped me from doing it? I would have lost out. I would not have got to where I am now had I not kept the faith in my ideas and believed that I could make something happen. You know, when people come into my life who don't believe in me and who think that I'm a bit crazy for doing what I'm doing, I think to myself, am I going to let this person stop me because they believe that I can't make this happen? And they might be right. Or am I going to back myself because maybe, just maybe, I might actually be able to achieve it. It might actually happen. And I think I'd rather take the chance on myself. I would rather have the faith and belief in myself to try and make my dreams come true and to achieve the things that I want to achieve, rather than believing the possibility that I might not be able to make it happen. There is so much more power in backing yourself and in believing in yourself and having the faith to keep going, no matter what setbacks you face, no matter who tells you you can't do it. Just have that faith to keep going, because if you do, you are going to be the one that's having the last laugh, let me tell you. So other things that I do to help get me into a state of mind of faith are using words and thoughts and just getting connected with why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why did I believe in it in the first place? Really connecting with that. And using words, like I always wake up, when I wake up and I think to myself, just trust that what I'm trying to achieve will come to pass. And on the bedroom, in my wall in my bedroom, I have this pin board with all the things that I want to achieve on it. And in the middle of the pin board is a word in bold that says trust. And when I look at all those goals, I just look back at that word and think trust. Trust that this is going to happen, trust that it's a done deal, trust that it will all come to pass in the right way at the right time. Trust. And I just think when I meet people who don't believe me, I just think trust. Trust it, Carrie, just trust yourself. Trust yourself to do the right thing and to make the amazing things that you want to achieve happen. And that is so, so powerful, and it really helps me to keep the faith and to stay strong even when people around me don't believe in me, because that's what you have to do. You have to stay strong and keep going, and you will make amazing things happen. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave me a comment. I would love to read it, and I will see you next time.